Now, yesterday we have started with the content of first chapter of testing and quality assurance. We'll have a quick revision of what is the purpose. Yesterday we have seen the purpose, objective of the course, and we have seen what will be the outcome after completing this subject of software quality assurance subject. We have already gone in detail about the weightage of this chapter, that is software quality assurance fundamentals, in your question paper. It will be 20%. So near about 15 marks will be dedicated to this chapter itself. So yesterday we have seen the basic definition of what is exactly the quality is. It is nothing but a fit for the use or purpose. And we have seen that it is expecting the customer with respect to its functionality, design, reliability, durability, and price of a product. We have also seen in detail what is exactly the meaning of assurance is. Same assurance when it comes with the quality. What are the things we need to focus that we have seen yesterday? Now there are different scenarios where quality assurance has been done, but as far as IT industry, that is software industry is concerned, we are thinking we will be implementing some quality assurance steps in somewhat different way. So we have yesterday seen how this development and testing team come together for the development and for the improvement of the product. So that is nothing but a software quality assurance. We have yesterday seen what are the process being followed during the life cycle of PDCA, that is plan, do, check and act, and what are the things being implemented at each phase of this cycle by the testing, that is quality assurance team. We have yesterday seen the difference between the quality control and quality assurance. That is quality control. We basically talk about the testing which is going on. That is software testing at the bottom level, and quality assurance is nothing but the project level or the company level. What all standards are specified that comes under quality assurance. So we have seen the basic difference between the process and the product. After implementing a quality assurance, what are the best practices we see? These are the basic seven what we have seen best practices due to the implementation of quality assurance in the industry. We have also seen the basic functionalities of quality assurance are being formulated in different 5 ways. That is technology transfer, validation, documentation, that is the most important part, and assuring quality of product and quality improvement plans. That is future plans for the industry. So that basic 5 functionalities are being specified. We have also seen yesterday whenever the documentation is done, what all sections are there. So starting from the purpose section, reference section, software configuration, problem reporting, tool, code, records, and finally ladder up with the testing methodologies. We have also seen the plans which are being executed in the different phases of your quality assurance execution. Now today we will be focusing on what all activities. Now activity in the sense is that whenever the team come into the picture of implementing some good application on the name of a company, it basically goes to the 11 different types of activities. Now as a quality assurance team member or as a quality assurance manager, you have to keep in mind these are the 11 basic things which will be coming whenever you are working under the title what is quality assurance in IT industry. So basically what is happening, we will go into theoretical what definition, what is exactly happening into each phases. There are different 11 phases and each phase has its importance as far as its standards is concerned. So first, whenever the activity starts of software quality assurance, it always starts with the plan. So creating an SQA management plan. So in this phase, what is exactly happening is that the different approaches of our industry is being finalized. Different engineering activities that need to be implemented by the development team or the testing team should be initialized and should be formulated, and the type of planning is being done at the stage called as creating an SOA management phase. So everything that is planned, everything is being picturized, what will be the future scenario of the company, so that we need to be formulated at the initial stage. Based on this plan, immediately the step number 2, that is setting of checkpoints. Now here what is happening is that you are putting a checkpoints to the project. Now as each point, at what situation your project need to be go for testing or your project need to be verified whether it has satisfied the customer needs, that is being formulated the checkpoints. So 10 days checkpoint or daily, whether the product, what the team has done, development team, and what the testing team has done in the project. So everything is final formalized in the checkpoints, and these checkpoints are being evaluated by the quality assurance team. So step number 1 is nothing but the planning. Step number 2 is nothing but you have setting the checkpoints based on a day, month, or even after the completion of the project. After implementing the project, still you are going for the checking what exactly is happening. So in step number 3, you are applying your software engineering techniques. So what is exactly the software engineering technique is nothing but different types of what we have seen, the different types of models in software engineering. So that type of modeling is being put into the picture here. Now here in this phase, there are different techniques being used by the people. There is the interview, there is FAST, there is functional analysis system techniques. So functionality of the product is being formulated, it is being engineered, re-engineered, and it is being found that whether the design is as per the requirement of the customer, whether it is achieving the highest quality specification of the product. And apart from this, they are working on the work breakdown structure. So they are dividing the structure of your product and then checking whether the product will be implemented successfully or not. There is also SLOC, there is source line of code, where the line of code is being optimized to the extreme level so that it should not be a reusability or redundancy of the code. You are doing the same code again and again. So you are formulating it, you are reducing the source line of your code, and then you are putting the functional point. So exactly what functions, what execution it will be doing, and how it will be executing optimizedly. So the three things has been done in the 3 phase. In the 4th phase, you are executing your formal technical reviews. In this technical reviews, what is actually happening is that the development team, the managers, the project team leaders are coming together and working on pros and cons of the application or the implementation issues which are being formulated, which are identified during the prototype design or during the quality of your prototype that you have implemented or you are at the stage. So that where the technical reviews will be going on. It is actually the phase where the technical team is in the picture, and technical team, when it is in picture, it is going for the formal interviews and reviews, continuous and rigorous. It is identifying, detecting errors in the software development lifecycle, and it is also providing remedies to overcome those defects during the process of your development. So 4th number step will be actually the technical reviews will be carried out. In step number 5, multi-testing strategies will be defined. So whenever you are creating an application, it is basically the approach is that your application should be executed in different browsers. So you are doing the multiple testing strategies are being implemented. Same way, whenever you are creating an application, there are different platforms, there are different operating systems, there are different databases. So we are implementing the multiple testing strategies where you will be checking whether the product will not go into the situation what is a bug product, or it will not create some error at the runtime. So this strategy is focusing only on the testing of your product at the multiple platforms with different approaches of testing. So we will be implementing different types of testing strategies over here. I think so we have gone through yesterday, there are 157 types of testing. And which testing should be applied for what, that should be identified. If you are doing GUI, the GUI should be done with this different way. If you are testing your database testing is done in a somewhat different way. If you are doing authenticity or you are doing some e-card, or you want to maintain some sessions that your client should navigate to different pages and you should maintain all the pages, all the purchases. Now it is all e-commerce going on in the market. So it should be a specified optimized process for viewing all the products on the screen. So that needs to be identified by the testing team whether it is being executed perfectly or not. So the steps were the previous 5 steps will be focusing on reviews and technical interviews and technical aspects and your testing aspects. And as far as 6th process is concerned, it reinforces the process called adherence. Now, the meaning of adherence is that you are implementing something explicitly. You are forcing your development team to do something out of the box. So what is that? Two things. There are whenever you are forcing, that is reinforcing and forcing something process that to be implemented, you will be focusing on two more major parts. One is product evaluation, whether your product is satisfied with the requirement of the customer, and second one is your internal industry standards, that is the process monitoring. The team should be very much comfortable that it's the process what it is has implemented should be as per the standard of the industry. It should not be a vague process, and each process should be monitored in a very systematic way. The people will be using those processes for the future development of the or review of the same product. So product evaluation and process monitoring, these are the two things which are being reinforced again and again by the people who are working in the team. And then after that, there is controlling change. So if there is some change you are identifying in the product after executing, after implementing, or after integrating different modules into your application, you will find that some control, there are some changes are being implemented at that time, and that implemented changes need to be controlled in a very systematic way. So that thing is being done at step number 4, that is called as controlling the changes. And in each stage you are measuring the changes. So whatever changes, whatever integration you have done with the different types of development and different types of integration, that need to be checked whether it is not replicating the defect or whether it is not creating a nuisance in the execution of the project. So you have to measure those changes, and for that purpose, your QA team is responsible, and this QA team will be formulating a special standards, a special process, and where this product will be again verified and re-verified whether it is executing as per the standard. Now in 9th stage, the QA team will be doing its performance or what is called auditing. Now here the accounting is somewhat different and auditing is somewhat different. Auditing means what? You are being given some list of requirements by the development team to the development team by the client. So after getting those requirements need to be implemented by the development team, and same need to be tested by the testing team. Now the team called as quality assurance team will be auditing whether the requirements are fulfilled as per the standard, as per the norms being specified by the company, whether the requirements are satisfied on the client side or not. So everything, the auditing of each and every point is being done at the 9th level, that is performing SUA audit. It is always only the execution of the product as per the company's norms. Now in the 10th stage, you are maintaining record and report, because this is most important, that you whatever you have done, you have to put it in a document. So here, basically, in 10th phase, you have to do only recording, and you have to record each and every report. So whether it is a test result, whether it is an audit result, whether it is a new report, whether it is a change requirement, whatever requirement change you have done in your documentation on a requirement as per the client requirement, all have to be formulated into a record, and then only it will be working. Then finally, you are doing something for last step, that is you are managing a good relationship. Now here, what is happening whenever you are doing this type of implementation, there is always a conflict between the what we call as development team and what we call as the testing team. You have already frequently seen that each one, that whether it is development team or testing team, each will be formulating, and each one will be saying that he is the most important person in the project. So what is the duty of quality assurance team is that you have to be a mediator between the two. Am I audible? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now there should not be a conflict between the testing team and the development team. So you, as a quality assurance team member, you have to be a mediator between both the teams. You have to integrate the tester and developer and ensure that the product should be as per the standard requirement of the company, and it should satisfy the requirement of the customer, and there should not be a bug, there should not be an error, there should not be any defect in the product when it is being launched in the industry. So these are the 11 basic things what the QA team have to do whenever they are in the process, or whenever they are in the urge of executing something on different platforms. So you not doing a supervision is not a duty of quality assurance team. It is, you have to be a part of a development, you have to be a part of a testing team. Then only it is possible. Then only your product requirement can be achieved, and then over the product can be accepted by the client. So these are the basic 11 things. These are nothing but the activities what the testing team or the development teams need to be implemented under the guidance of quality assurance team. So this is the thing which you have to keep in mind. Now we'll move to the next important part, that is when we talk about the quality assurance, there are some standards we have to follow. So whatever depend upon the company, the levels, we will be talking into detail about this. There are different types of standards in market. Most probably these are the basically 3 types of standards being implemented. We'll go into detail and we'll wind up today with this 3 different types of standards which are being implemented by the industry peoples. Now whenever any company is being established, it's not a way that you are getting calling any client and client is giving a requirement and you are starting directly a development. Initially what you have to do is that you have to standardize your industry. So in what way you will be implementing your application, what will be the deadline, what will be the project management, different techniques you will be implementing for the implementing the project, what are technology you will be using, are your people, the employees are capable of using those technologies. Everything you have to formulate whenever you are ready to accept any project from the clients. So you have to work in some phase of deadline. Each product have to be have some deadline. It should be not be that you are doing and you are not having the deadline that on which day it will be released or on which day your client will be receiving your product. So you have to standardize your process in a very systematic way. Now initially when a company is being created, people go for the standard that is called as ISO 9000 standard. So this is the basic standard whenever any industry, any small company, ISO is being recommended. Here these people will be using ISO 9000 standard for their company, so that the client will be much more satisfied that after giving an project to the ISO company, 100% my product will be released on the same day when the commitment is being given by the development team or by the company. So execution as per the standard under ISO is somewhat different. Executing, implementing a project at CMM levels, there are different 5 levels. We'll go into detail, pros and cons of the CMM level. So these are the 2 types of techniques being used in industry. And finally there is a test maturity model that is will be implemented by some companies. Where to use test maturity model, we'll go into detail. Now number 1, that is ISO 9000. It increases the profit of the organization, not in the sense of money, but as far as the name and fame of the company is concerned. So it will be increase automatic the profit because all processes are standardized. You will be following SDLC model. You will be implementing different models. Which model for which product should be used? You cannot use SDLC for each and every project. You cannot use spiral model. You cannot use prototype model again and again. So there are different projects, and if each project need to have some different models to be get implemented. Now in the industry, basically people are going for agile, because whenever the product is being created, it not go vanish, or it should not get out of what we call as an industry after some days. So for it to be in the system, it need to be implemented frequently, it need to be updated frequently. So the reviews and new versions need to be created. For that purpose, agile process came into exist. So same thing, whenever any standard is being finalized, people, if you want to sell your product not at a domestic level but at national and international level, ISO standard is most important. If your company is ISO standard, means that you will be providing the product in a very systematic way, and your customer will be reliable that 100% my product will be received and with the excellent standards. So for improving your client at a domestic and international level, you have to implement at least ISO 9000 standards. Now what it do is that it will reduce the waste and increase of productivity of the employees. So it will not allow that you are not giving the employees the same tedious task frequently. You will making some process very systematic, and that will be implemented. And it provides excellent customer satisfaction, 100%. Whenever you are following some standard, there will be a satisfaction level of the customer that will be increased. Now CMM level, we will go into detail. There are different 5 levels into CMM, that is initial, repeatable, defined, managed and optimized. We will go into detail in upcoming session. And last one we will be talking about the test maturity model. Again, it has a different 5 levels, and you have to keep in mind these 5 levels, that is initial, defined, integrated, management and measurement, and finally optimization. So basically all levels, that the 5th level is focusing on optimization. So we'll move further for what is exactly the ISO 9000 is. Now in 1987 this standard came into exist. I think so it is before your birth this standard came into exist. And the purpose of the standard was giving the satisfaction to your customer and other stakeholders. Stakeholders means what? The people who are working in your company also, the people who will be using your product also, and the people who will be earning something from your product also. So all people who are connected to that product, that is called as stakeholders. So your customer and other stakeholders that need to have a high quality of assurance that your product is excellent. So this standard came into exist in ISO 9000 in 1987. Now there are different standards. Now what is happening is that you are documenting each and every process. Just like NAC, what we do is that it is nothing but standardizing. We are creating some processes. So that process is put it on a paper and we are executing on the same scenario itself. So here what is happening, an organization who wish to certify with ISO 9000 is audited based on its functionality. So there is third party, that is ISO team, will be visiting your organization and it will be verifying each and every perspective of your product. So whether it is a functions, whether it is a product, whether it is service and whether it is different type of process which are going in your company. So all process standards will be identified. There is separate different what you call as a booklet of ISO 9000. You can go through, you can download it and you can see how the standard is being maintained for the IT. Now ISO is for each and every product. Whenever you want to purchase some electrical gadget, you 100% check whether it is ISO or not. ISO certified is not. So ISO certification is for the electronic devices, whereas ISO is for the company itself. So that company, if it is ISO, it means the product which are been developed under the header called as ISO 9000. 9000 is the number being given to the IT companies. So there are different ISO. You can go on a website, you will find there are different thousand. If your company is focusing on call center, your ISO standard is somewhat different. If your company is focusing on giving third party services, your ISO standard is somewhat different. If you are in development, you are developing some application, and for that purpose ISO 9000 is there. So ISO 9000 is basically for the industry which are doing programming, which are testing the product and which are giving services to the customer by providing the product in the market. So this is basically what is ISO 9000 is. Now in this certificate, what it will, if you get a certificate, what will the benefit to the company? Now what will happen is that it will increase the profit of the organization automatically, because if the process is optimized 100%, the expenses can be reduced to some extent. It improves the domestic and international trade. Your people will be familiar that if you are ISO, because this standard is international standard, it is not an Indian standard, it is international standard organization. So 100% you are following the norms of international trades, and the product will be implemented at the international level. So you will be achieving the client from the international level also. So that is most important. Then it reduces the waste and increase the productivity of the employees. So unnecessary wasting of your energy and money will be reduced at some extent by implementing ISO standard. And finally, the major important thing that you need to do is that you have to provide satisfaction to your customer, and that can be achieved by ISO 9000. So there are basic principles whenever you go for any quality management. So these 7 different principles, that is customer force, leadership, engagement of people, process approach, improvement, evidence-based decision making, and relationship management, all will be coming under this ISO. These are different, it will be implemented because these are the principles of quality management. And we talk about quality, now these things to be implemented, and indirectly these things will be implemented when you go for ISO. Here you have to do only documentation. There is no phase of implementation here in ISO. You have to do everything on a paper. So this is nothing but an ISO. Now we'll move further to the next level, that is called as a CMM. This is the most important thing. whenever you are getting a job, you have to check whether your company is CMM level or at what level it is. So on the right hand side in this color, I have given the levels. If your company is at initial levels, whenever you decide to create a company, any company which is below the 3 months, it will be in a stage called as a CMM level initial. So initial level will be doing called as a process unpredictable, poorly controlled and reactive. So मेरे मन को भाया मैंने कर दिखाया, just like that. If you are creating a company and starting a project, asking a client to give project and implementing those projects, there is no process for implementation. Your customer don't know what you are doing. Your technical team don't know what you are exactly planning for that. So everything, this is the red phase. So actually whenever any small industry is being generated, it is always in the stage number 1, that is level 1. It is called as a initial level. So it is not that you are implementing CMM model, but automatically your company will reside into CMM level 1. After CMM level, the company will be entering into CMM level 2. Yeah, the product's quality will not be most important for you. You are just for the purpose of earning something. For that purpose, you will be into level number 2. Same way, when we enter into level number 3, the company when it enters into level 3, you will be focusing on the process and characteristics of the organization. Now here the values of your organization come into exist. And after that third level, you will be entering into fourth level, where each process will be controlled in a very systematic way. And finally, level number 5, that the optimization level will be there. Now we'll see, moving from level 1 to level 5 is very difficult. You cannot create a company and in one or 2 years you are expecting that your company is CMM level 5. Now I will show you the list of companies which have achieved this CMM level 5. 1 minute. Now we'll see, are you visible? Is this visible? Yes. Yes?
Yes, sir.
Yes, okay. Now you will find some companies. There are 57 yes, companies, 57 I think, so 58 companies I have downloaded, which are at CMM level 5. So these are the basic companies you will find in CMM level 5. That is the top companies where you can get a job and you can assure that your product, you will be in a very systematic and a standard, what you call as environment, and you are creating the product which are being optimized to its extreme level. So there are some companies like Cognizant of Bangalore, then there is a HCL, there is a Honeywell, there is Hexaware company, there is Hewlett Package, HP, there is IBM, then Information Technology India Limited, this is a private is Indian organization, that is the government of India's organization of IT sector, then Infosys, Infotech, then you see some company called as L&T Infotech, then Emphasis, NIIT Solution, then TCS, Tata Consultancy, though Syntel. So you will find these companies you basically see in Hinjodi also. So Wipro is again one company. So CMM level 5 is not a small organization. You will find this at CMM level. So basically at this level it is very tough to go at this step number 5. So it is very difficult. Your turnover should be in billions and trillions of rupees, and you should have an ample number of man forces will be working for your organization, and it should be not that you are working only on one technology. For going to optimization level, that is on 5th level, your organization will be sustained only at this level if your organization is capable to implement each and every technology which is going on in the market, which is already in the market. So everything will be here at CMM level. Now we'll talk about what is there in level 1. So at initial level, whenever the industry product, your company has been organized, it has been falling directly into initial level. The benefit is that your project is total. Here you will find that everything is in chaos. You don't know how you have to do testing, what you have to test, what is the schedule, what will be the cost of the product, what are functionalities to be implemented, what should be the quality target. So everything is chaos in this stage. So it is the initial stage of anything. So if you are doing an entrepreneur, you want to be an entrepreneur, first stage you cannot get an all things, that is all maturity at the first level. So first stage is called as an initial stage. Now in second stage, here what you are doing is that what all activities are being done in this stage is that you are requirement management. You are just doing the management of the requirements. You are estimating project parameters like cost, schedule, something here you are missing, that you don't know the cost of your product, you don't know the functionalities to be implemented. Here you are doing the parameters, you are doing some estimation of cost, scheduling and your functionalities. You are measuring actual process, what will be the process. You are developing some plans, you have tried to enter into the planning and processing, execution. You are doing some project standards, you are implementing some new things into your projects. You are identifying the control products, you are reporting the problems, and your process may differ different projects. So you may contain different types of project in the second level called as a manage. Now what will be the benefit after using this is that your process will become easier to comprehend. Your manager and team manager, all team leaders will spend less time in explaining how things are done. So there is no need for getting an explanation from a technical team. Your projects will be better estimated. You will get a very comprehensive definition of your project. Your quality, with some extent, will be integrated with the project. Your costing, to some extent, will be reduced, and you will be asked to do some paperwork and documentation. In the initial stage, there is no paperwork. You are just doing your project. That's just like what you do at your PG or undergraduate level. You are doing a project, but you are not following the standard being specified. That is, you are not preparing SRS or process scheduling, or you are not using a documentation for the development of your project. So here you have at least you have implemented those documentation in stage number 2. In step number 3, this is a middle stage. So 1, 2, these are the what we call as the basic steps of CMM level. Step number 3, that is a defined. At least there is some definition is there. And from this is the middle stage. Here your product, you cannot say that your product is excellent. You can say that my product is what is called as a medium quality product, and your process is again a medium quality process. So process mediator and your product mediator, this phase is called as a defined stage of level 3. Here what is important is that, what all activities are important is that you are clarifying your customer requirement. You are clarifying the customer will be much more satisfied, at least from these 2 levels. In third level, your customer will be at least some satisfied with your requirement, because your team will be much more clear about the requirement. It will solve design requirements. All requirements related to design will be solved, and it will be developed and it will be implemented. We will make sure that at this level the product meets the requirement, and finally you will analyze your decisions systematically. So you will know what all decisions you have taken, and you will be analyzing those decisions and rectify and control potential problems. So you will be able to at least rectify your basic problems will be there in your project execution. So what will be the benefit is that your process improvement will become standard to some extent. Your solution process from being coded to being engineered. Now just not doing coding is most important. Now the coding will be converted into engineering. You will be not doing coding, you will be doing some engineering work. So automatically your productivity will be increased, the quality will be of your product will be increased, and the risk of getting your project what we call as not qualified for execution will be removed to some extent. So this is the middle stage. This is called a win-win situation, not getting a profit but not losing the client also. Now step number 4 onwards, that is level number 4 onwards, your product will be much more qualitative. It will be focusing on the quality. So what is happening in over here is that you will manage the project process and sub-process which will be working for the execution of a product. So all will be satisfied. You will actually understand the process performance, quality management of the organization project. So quality will be coming into picture at this level. Before level 4, that is called level 1, 2 and 3, you are not focusing on the quality. But in level number 4, you are focused to the quality. Now what will happen is that the benefit will be received is that you will be optimizing the process performance and across the organized. You will be a fosters quality project. You will be managing your organization in a very systematic way. And the last step is that is optimization. Optimizing means what? You are making satisfaction level of your client to the extreme level. He is expecting 10 rupees benefit from you, but your companies will be helping the client to get a 15 rupees benefit. That type of approach. Here what is there in optimization? All things will be optimized. Start from the employee process optimization to the implementation or to the customer window. All will be optimized. It will detect and remove the cause of the defect. So immediately the product defect will be identified, will be removed. It will identify and deploy new tools, new applications, new product, new technologies will be implemented to the extreme level in this optimized phase. And what will happen is that your company will be doing some innovations. So you will see all companies which are in level 5, that is you will find Microsoft, IBM, Oracle, Sun Microsoft. So all companies, all international brands are in CMM level 5. Here these people are doing some innovations. They are developing some new products which will be using in the future scenarios in a 10, 15, 20 years perspective. This application will be used by the people at the extreme level. So these companies will be doing some innovation, and this will be the phase where the company will be earning money in billions and trillions. That we see what Facebook is doing, what Google is doing, or what Microsoft is doing. All companies that are in the level number 5. Are you clear with this? Yes. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now this is a pictorial representation. You will see whenever you are going for the level number 1, so you will find it is everything. Your process is in a kiosk. You don't know what to do, when to do, how to do, where to do. So in level number 2, what is that? You are at least creating a boxes. You know that you have to do planning, then you have to do analysis, then you have to do testing, and then you have to do implementation. So here this level number 2 came into exist. Now in level number 3 is that you are giving some breakpoints. So after planning, you have to check whether the planning is perfect. After designing, you have to designing is perfect or not. So you are adding some checkpoints at each level. After completing that level, the checkpoints are being added in level 3. But in level 4, you will find internally at each process there are internal checkpoints. There are internal checkpoints whether this working is going perfectly or not. So you will find that CMM level 4 is something good. There are different checkpoints at each phases. But when you go for CMM level 5, that is, you will find it is very integrated. It is complex. You are removing some phases unnecessary. You are not spending your energy on requirement and all those things, because your team is now that much mature that you don't require the clients to explain each and everything. What should be there, what should not be there, that you don't get spend your time, because your team is at extreme level. You will see whenever you are being hired any CMM level 5 company, your experience should be more than 5 or 8 or 10 years of experience. These people will be hiring only experienced people. So you will get a very less opportunity to work in a big brand under a big project. Is that because these people are following some standard. The people who have worked in CMM level 1 company, 2 company, 3 level company, 4 company are only being accepted in CMM level 5 top post. So top post people will be having knowledge of all 4 phases, all 4 levels, and then only they can implement that. They will skip some levels and they will directly implement. And there are different types of checkpoints. Some levels will be reduced in the execution of level number 5, so it is very systematic. Now what doing CMM level maturity is not just like a ISO standard. What is in ISO is that you have to follow some standard that are being defined by ISO 9000. So there is ready-made documentation, you are just implementing. But it is not possible in CMM level. CMM level implementation is very tough. Your era company है उसको implement नहीं कर सकता. Now एक रात में कंपनी किसने बनाया वो directly CMM level को apply नहीं कर सकता. What is most important is that for each phase, if you are level number 1, you will require at least 12 months. कम से कम 12 महीने लगते हैं आपको लेवल 1 को कंप्लीट करने के लिए. अगर आपको लेवल 5 तक जाना है और अगर आपकी कंपनी कंटिन्यूस CMM लेवल के स्टैंडर्ड फॉलो कर रही है तो कम से कम इट विल बी मिनिमम 5 years. So you will find all CMM level 5 companies are at least 5 to 10 to 15 years of experience in industry. 10-15 साल का एक्सपीरियंस जिस कंपनी को है वही कंपनी CMM लेवल 5 तक अप्लाई कर सकती है. Now what is there in this level is that पहले 3 से 6 महीने तक you are preparing what to do and what not to do. In the next 6 months what you are doing is that in 3 months is that you are implementing what to do and what not to do. The documentation part you will be implementing, and in the next 3 months you will be implementing, you are assessing your preparation कि आपने जो किया तो exactly उसी तरीके से हो रहा है क्या. And तब जाके after in 12 months you are qualifying first level. So at least 1 year is required minimum. Meticulous if you are working, at least 1 year will be required to qualify the level 1. Now, whenever we are talking about CMM level, what are the internal structures of CMM? तो आपको वो structures पता होनी चाहिए that the different structure been implemented by this company at this 6 to 12 level. You are preparing and you are implementing. What is these people are implementing? Now these people are implementing REQM, that is requirement management. These people are implementing project planning. These people are implementing project management, monitoring and control. These people are implementing supplier agreement management. So supplier जो भी है उनके agreement के management भी कैसे करेंगे, process and quality assessment, assurance, configuration management. So all these types of what we call as structures, these are nothing but different applications you have to implement in your organization to qualify the levels. So each level will be having a different requirement management, different project planning. So at least this 6 structure you have to implement for each levels of your model. Now what is the limitations? If you go for CMM level, there are some limitations of CMM level is that CMM level determines what a process should address instead of how it should be implemented. So ये आपको help नहीं करेगा कंपनी का revenue बढ़ाने के लिए। ये सिर्फ क्या कर सकता है कि आपको जो भी implement करने वाले उसकी process आपको help करेगा बनाने के, build करने के लिए। It does not explain every possibility of the software process improvement. It is not a redirect कि आपको उसको देखने के बाद उसको पढ़ने के बाद आपका प्रोजेक्ट एक्सीलेंट हो जाएगा। आपको वो रियल लाइफ में एग्जीक्यूट कर करके उसमें कुछ चेंजेस ला के आपको वो पॉसिबल करना है कि आपका प्रोडक्ट इम्प्रूव हुआ है कि नहीं। सो ये मिथ है थोड़ा कि आपको लग रहा है कि ये अच्छा होगा, पर आपको ये इम्प्लीमेंट करके जिस तरीके से 10-15 साल लगेंगे आपको वो लेवल को क्वालिफाई करने के लिए। इट कॉन्सेंट्रेटेड ऑन सॉफ्टवेयर इश्यूज बट डज नॉट कंसीडर स्ट्रेटेजिक बिजनेस प्लानिंग। सो अगर आप बोलेंगे आपकी कंपनी कम लोगों पे ज्यादा काम करना है, ये सीएमएम लेवल नहीं आपको बताएगा। इफ यू आर वांट टू अडॉप्ट कौन सी टेक्नोलॉजी कौन से प्रोजेक्ट के लिए यूज करना है, ये आपको सीएमएम लेवल कभी हेल्प नहीं करेगा। ये आपको कभी नहीं बताएगा कि कौन सा टेक्नोलॉजी यूज करना है आपको। It will be establishing a product line and managing human resources. आपको बताएंगे ना कि HR मैनेजमेंट कैसा करना है, प्रोडक्ट की लाइन कैसे डिफाइन करनी है, वो आपको CMM लेवल कभी नहीं बताएगा। Also it does not tell you on what kind of business or organization should be in. अगर फ्यूचर में आपको लगता है कि इंडस्ट्री में इसमें ग्रो करना चाहिए, उसमें ग्रो करना चाहिए, उसके लिए आपको कुछ CMM लेवल हेल्प नहीं करेगा। आपकी कंपनी के मैनेजमेंट को खुद डिफाइन करना है कि आपकी कंपनी को कहाँ पर लेके जाना है। And finally, CMM will not be useful in the project having a crisis right now. यानी आपका अगर प्रोडक्ट जैसे ऑर्कुड आपको पता होगा कि गूगल ने बनाया था, अगर वो खत्म हो चुका है, पीपल आर नॉट यूजिंग दैट एप्लीकेशन, अगर आपने CMM लेवल यूज किया तो आप बोलेंगे इसको हम फिर से एक बार मार्केट में लाएंगे। नो, after implementing the CMM level also any techniques, it will not assure that your product will be accepted by the client or by the users in the industry. Are you clear with this? Yes, CMM level?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now the third model, that is test maturity model. ये टेस्टिंग के लिए बना है, क्वालिटी एश्योरेंस ने खुद अपने डेवलपमेंट खुद इम्प्रूवमेंट के लिए बनाया। CMM लेवल जो है that is for the company. Test maturity model is for your testing purpose only. So in this model, that is a test maturity model, TMM, in software testing, there are two components. One is 5 level. हम इस 5 level को आगे जाके देखेंगे, इसके भी कुछ 5 levels है। These 5 levels will be defining the testing capabilities. आपके जैसे हमने बोला ये 5 लेवल की कुछ कैपेबिलिटीज उसमें आ जाएंगे। And second model will be assessment, will be doing assessment कि आपका हर एक जो मॉड्यूल का लेवल है वो इम्प्लीमेंट किया है कि नहीं और उसका स्टैंडर्ड उन्होंने फॉलो किया है कि नहीं। सो देयर इज ऑलवेज a defining stage also and there is one more called as an assessment stage also. So in test maturity model there are different 5 stages. It will start with initial, just like CMM level. It will be entering into manage level, and then it will be entering into define level, and then after that it will be entering into measured level, and finally into optimization level. Now what will be happening into this level, we'll go into detail. In level 1 what will happen is that software should run successfully. Your basic purpose will be only for running your application. Now what is the objective is that at this level no process areas are identified, and objective of testing is to ensure that software is working fine. So you are doing testing for the purpose of only running your application. दिस लैक रिसोर्स टूल्स एंड ट्रेनिंग स्टाफ्स, वो उसके ऊपर फोकस नहीं करेंगे किसने ट्रेनिंग करना चाहिए, सिर्फ आपका पर्सपेक्टिव होगा कि आपका सिर्फ सॉफ्टवेयर रन होना चाहिए। अगर आप स्टूडेंट होंगे तो आप सिर्फ इनिशियल लेवल में ही काम करते हैं, आपको सिर्फ पता होना चाहिए कि आप क्या करते हैं कि ये प्रोडक्ट मैंने जो बनाया उसको सिर्फ रन होना है। Now in level number 2, you are developing testing and debugging goals and policies. Now ये जो goals and policies है वो initial stage में ही identified किए जाते हैं कि आपका goal क्या है प्रोजेक्ट बनाने का, आपकी policies कौन से रहेंगे। So here what you have to do is that in this level testing phases come into coding. Here you are doing actually coding of testing. यहाँ पर सिर्फ हम run कर रहे हैं, no testing is done. Here at least you are planning some test cases. You are testing something. Your primary goal of is to test and to show software meets specification. तो आपको सिर्फ स्पेसिफिकेशन को मीट कर रहे हैं और वो टेस्टिंग के द्वारा उसको बता रहे हैं। Now in third stage, that is integrated, that the integration of testing into the software life cycle. Now this is implementing your testing phase in your SDLC, that is in your software development life cycle. A separate phase is being created. अगर आप छोटा प्रोजेक्ट बना रहे तो आप उसको टेस्टिंग के लिए सेपरेट रखते नहीं प्रोजेक्ट, आप चलते रन टाइम में उसको टेस्टिंग करते। नाउ इन स्टेप नंबर 3, different phase of testing will be created and that will be focusing on creating objective, checking the requirement, testing your objective, and testing your organization exists. Everything will be done. That is your testing phase will be implementing all testing scenarios in level number 3, that is integrated. Now in level number 4, management and measurements. Now you will be managing, you will be measuring your testing also, your quality performance also. You will be developing as per the standard being written into your SRS also. And what is the basic purpose is that your goal will be establish a test measurement program. So here you are measuring each and everything. So there is a regression testing. There are regression testing means what each and every module, each and every component of your application is been tested in this fourth phase. And last, finally, you will find there is optimized test. Whichever application you see on a mobile which has been used by millions of people, it is always in a stage number 5, that is optimized. आपको पता होता है कि अगर आपका WhatsApp खराब हुआ है, अगर आपने उसको सिर्फ मेल कर दिया, your WhatsApp will be recovered in few minutes. आपको कम से कम 10-15 मिनट में आपका एप्लीकेशन घर बैठे वो एप्लीकेशन रन कर सकते हैं। अगर आपके पास एंटीवायरस होगा, अगर एंटीवायरस से कुछ प्रॉब्लम आया होगा तो if you are using Quick Heal team will be providing you the runtime support so that your application will be running excellently. So that is nothing but optimized. Here what is done is that your test process is optimized. Different types of tools are being used. जो भी मार्केट में टेस्टिंग के टूल्स है, पेड है, अनपेड है, फ्री है, जो भी है टेस्ट टूल्स यूज किए जाते हैं। क्वालिटी कंट्रोल एंड डिफेक्ट आर बीइंग प्रिवेंटेड। तो डिफेक्ट यानी डिफेक्ट कब होता है, जब आपका प्रोडक्ट मार्केट में लॉन्च होता है तब जाके डिफेक्ट होता है। सो दैट डिफेक्ट कैन बी रिमूव्ड एट दिस स्टेज। Now basic difference between CMM and TMM is that CMM is capability maturity model and is for the judging the maturity of the software process of an organization. तो software के process की maturity को check करने के लिए CMM level होता है, whereas TMM, that is testing maturity model, is to describe the process of testing and it is related to monitoring the quality of software testing models. So whatever models you are using in the testing, different types of models you are using, उसके testing के लिए TMM यूज किया जाता है, software के process को test करने के लिए CMM यूज किया जाता है। Are you clear with this now? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we'll stop today with only CMM level. So today we have seen what is ISO, what is CMM, what is TMM, and after this I'll be sharing you the question bank also. After I will be sharing you the question bank also after completing this chapter. So we'll meet tomorrow at the same time. Okay. Till then, bye.
Okay, sir. Bye.
Bye, sir. Good day.
Good day.